Welcome to the Muskie Sports Blast Inside the Huddle, your number one source for all the latest news on Muskingum athletics. Joining me today to preview the 2011 baseball season is Muskingum head coach Gregg Thompson. Coach, taking a look back at last year, how important was it to the program to make the OAC tournament?
Well, it's been our goal, and we've knocked on the door a bunch of times, finishing that 5 slot. And finishing the 5 slot in this league on most years means you have a pretty good ball club. But we found a way to put ourselves in position at the end, having to sweep Otterbein. We did it, got ourselves in, and I think what it does is it gave us a taste of what it's like to play tournament baseball, and gave us a good push going into the off season this year.
As you head into this year, does making the tournament last year even raise the bar of expectations that much higher?
Well, you talk to our older guys, that's what their goal is. Their goal is to get back and win it. They've been there. They know what it takes to get there. It was a lot easier to get them up in the morning during the wintertime and come in for our 6:30 workouts, and knowing that's goal of getting there is obtainable, and it's important to us. Everyone talks about it. We know what it takes to get there, and it's going to be another tough road in this league to get there.
If you look at the team that you return here, all-conference talent really around the diamond. It's going to start in left field with senior Eric Spitzer. He had a phenomenal campaign last year, and he's going to be a leader on this team this year.
Oh, I named him captain for a reason. He does everything we ask him to do, both on and off the field. His future goals are go to law school, so he's talented in the classroom. I believe he's 8 doubles away from the school record. And to come off hitting .403 and put together the year that he did says a lot about his work ethic. And he's going to hit it in the 3-hole for us, and he gives us our bat. Now the question is, where do we find the guys around him? So people have to pitch to him, because when they do pitch to him, he's dangerous.
One of the losses of last year, you lose senior Wes Carter, who wins the Rawlings Golden Glove for the best shortstop in the country. This year you decided to make a change. Tyler Hardcastle, who's been a fixture at second, going to be your shortstop now.
And people look at the guys that we lost, and certainly we lost Brock behind the dish and a lot of offense. And Wes had made 7 errors and 228 chances. And what I've asked Tyler to do in this offseason and this preseason is be Tyler Hardcastle. Don't be Wes Carter. They picked 9 a year, and he was the best defensive shortstop in the country. Saved us a lot of runs, and hopefully Tyler can do the same thing and just concentrate on making the routine play 100% of the time.
At first base, junior Colton Newell, when Colton arrived on campus, he was a big bat, and he's always been flirting with that breakout season. Is this the year you think Colton's going to do it?
I certainly hope so. He's got the potential, and the thing that Colton does is he gives us a first baseman defensively that just makes it hard to take him out of the lineup. Now, hopefully the change in these bats and the new NCAA bat regulations are going to mean a big impact on the game. Hopefully Colton's taken to it. The ball's just not going to travel out of the yard like it used to. He is capable of hitting 400 in this league if he just cuts his swing down and takes it. I think now that he's a leader in our program, I'm looking for a big year out of him.
You just mentioned about the bats and the new rules in the NCAA. The Muskies in the past have always been a team that's known for power, scoring a lot of runs quickly. Did you have to change your coaching style to adjust the NCAA?
Oh, without a doubt. We went into the fall not knowing what to expect when the bats arrived here on campus. We hit 5 home runs. We're talking batting practice, inter-squad games, 50-inning game. We had 5 balls out of the ballpark, and our park is set up for it. It just doesn't travel, and there's a greater emphasis we put on speed in the short game. One of the things that helps us, I think our pitching staff's deep enough. It opens up the inside part of the plate, because you can make a mistake middle in now and know that it's not going to go out. As opposed with the old bats, you made a mistake, it was going to leave the park. So it's going to be a significant change. I'm looking forward to getting down to Florida and just seeing exactly what the changes are in the game.
Several other young men who are going to be competing in that outfield for you, Alex Vaquero, Darren Garrett, and Nick Raymond, really give you depth at those positions.
Well, those guys all alternate in and out of the lineup. We found the hot bat. The one thing about those guys, including Spitzer, they can all run, they can all catch, they can all throw. Now it's going to be who are the 3 guys who are swinging the bats the best, are the ones who are going to play. We're going to start with Vaquero in right and Garrett in center, along with Spitzer. And Nick's going to get an opportunity early in the week to show that that he's capable with the bat, and we'll see. But you know, those guys can all run, and if we get into a situation where the game is significantly changed, you know, we might have to, you know, use one of the DH spot and keep the speed in the game.
You know, one of the gentlemen who stepped up last year and really provided a spark to really propel the Muskies towards that late season run, Garrett Federici, kind of the unknown factor. What's Garrett expected of this year?
You know, Garrett came out of nowhere, and I tell everyone, and I can still see it to this day, that bouncing ball he hit back up the middle against Marietta to give us that sweep. You know, Garrett came out of nowhere and just persevered throughout our program and put hard work in. And we don't go where we went last year without him. And we're going to start the year off with him in the 4-hole, protecting Spitzer, because the one thing I do know, he's going to find a way to first base. And if you get him out, you're going to have to work to get him out. He usually doesn't get himself out. And, you know, Garrett's going to play a big role in it. You know, as we talk about the bats and not hitting home runs, Garrett's a singles double hitter. He's not a home run guy. And I don't think we have that pure home run talent with these bats, so we're going to put the toughest out we have in our lineup, I think, is Garrett, and we're going to put him in the 4-hole behind Spitzer.
Now, perhaps the biggest question mark for the team in the field, second, third, and behind the plate, replacing All-American Brock Whiteman. Who will the fans see in those positions this week?
Well, we're going to start behind the plate with Matt Connor. Matt's a freshman out of Watkins Memorial. You know, doesn't have a body of a freshman. He's worked awfully hard. You know, I hope we all have to be patient. If we remember back, I think Brock had 20-some pass balls as a freshman. Learned how to handle a college pitching staff. Matt's smart. Is physically able to do it. He's got a good arm. And I think once we get through the jitters, I think he's going to be okay. At second base, Corey Coobs is going to start the year at second base. 2 weeks ago, Corey was backing Matt up at catcher. And I decided to practice one day. Corey's a very talented athlete. We were struggling at second base. I decided to make the move. He's taken to it. You know, so we're going to start a second baseman. He's had 2 weeks of college practice at second base. And then Colton Maxwell is talented out of Zanesville. Colton is also going to pitch in the 5-hole for us. He's a talent. Those guys are all talented kids. Now what we have to do is we got to find a way with our pitching staff to allow those boys to kind of get their feet wet and keep our head above water.
You know, talking to the pitching staff, you certainly return a lot of experience on this staff. It's going to be headlined by Nathan Van Meter. He missed last year, but the year before that led Division III in ERA. He's a left-hander. It's got to be great to have him back in the lineup.
It's good to see him back, and you know, I think the velocity will come back. His velocity's not where it was at the end of his junior year. It's still pretty good. Nathan will just compete for us every day. Looking for a big year for us, and he's a shutdown guy at the top of the rotation. He match up against anyone's number one and give us an opportunity to win.
You're right behind him, Ike Free, and when Ike is on, nearly unhittable. Got to feel good to have him as a 2.
Well, you know, Ike has hopefully grown a lot, and as you said, when he's on, he's upper 80s with a good slider and a good changeup, and you know, what we're looking for Ike is some maturity. Ike's can give us innings. He finds a way to give us innings. Now, are they innings where at the end he's giving up 5, or are they innings when he gets done he's giving up 2? And that's the thing that we need Ike to be able to do out of that 2-hole.